whistles.
25 whistles.
Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. It's where to go. It's where to go. I don't have my sheet. It's where to go get more smiles. All right. I was reading the story about Kyler Murray.
A lot of smiles.
And that they just launched a new Call of Duty. It came out this week.
Oh, no.
And the Cardinals have a short week.
This
and
is
they're
not good.
and they're like, Kyler's not even going to know what a play is.
I know.
He's going to be up all night. Mike, I don't think I have my sheets for commercials, do I?
You should, but I can tell you what it is.
That's I got it. It's on the backside here. 25 Whistles brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports bettor of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. We have Raymundo in from the Bobby Bones Show and the Sore Losers because he has a theory about something that's been happening on the show, and I wanted to let him present it. He thinks we're all going to die in a helicopter accident with Jerry Jones.
Whoa.
And this is what I wanted him to share here in front of you guys. Go ahead.
Sure, yeah. So my wife, Baser, you guys know Baser, her brother is a pilot. And he's won awards. I mean, I can't even name them all, but he's like very high up in the pilot echelon. And
what does that mean? Very high up in the pilot echelon.
A lot of pilots out there.
There's a lot. And I didn't know there was an echelon system.
I mean, he probably could fly the president of the United States.
Okay.
I mean, who am I kidding?
Probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of his awards, probably. He'd show up with all his awards and he'd be like, yeah, flying.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Very highly esteemed. And he said he will never fly in a helicopter, a chopper, if you will. Which is what you guys are talking about flying in with Jerry.
Correct.
And he's an expert. He knows it all, and he refuses. He's never been in one. Maybe he trained in one, but it's been 20, 30 years.
So he hasn't been in one in 20 years, so he doesn't know how technologically advanced and safe they are now.
Well, the way it was explained to me is you're in a Southwest plane, there's backup engines. There's 2 engines. Helicopter, there's no backup. Wing goes down, wing down, plane down. Copter down.
Why are you talking like you're a 4? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, plane down. Down.
Down.
So I've wanted to go in a helicopter in Gatlinburg. They do $100 flights there. Vegas.
Well, that's the problem.
Gatlin.
The $100 flight.
I'm not even allowed to because now I'm into the family. So none of the family's allowed to get in helicopters because of his expertise and he knows more. So I'm just warning you guys. Good God, be careful. And I mean, I'm not even going to bring up Mamba. I mean, he was in.
You just brought up Mamba.
You did, and that was fog. And the pilot said we probably shouldn't fly, and Mamba said we should fly.
Hey, if Jerry,
from what I've read,
say we get on there and it just happens to be a foggy morning, and Jerry says, "Let's fly." Do you step in and be like,
I would say, how about them boys? Let's go.
Exactly. Me too.
How about them? Oh no, how about them Cowboys?
How about them? Yeah. How about them Cowboys?
Wait, do I? Okay,
You just say them boys.
I need
dude.
to know what to say because now I'm all confused.
Oh my God.
Who dat?
No.
That's them Cowboys, baby.
No, who dat is.
Well,
New
I'm
Orleans.
walking down the streets and I'm gonna go out west with real. Is that what I do?
No.
Oh.
No. It's them boys, and that's it.
No, because
Or-
there's something where I go,
or-
how about them Cowboys?
That's it. Or how about them Cowboys?
What if I just say, check it out. Mr. Jones, good to meet you.
That's fine. And then you go, how about them Cowboys?
I probably won't do that. But here's the thing about helicopter, Ray. I'm glad you brought that up. I've flown many helicopters.
Really?
You not watch TV?
I mean, it's like every show I'm on now, they throw me in a freaking helicopter.
You don't watch his shows, Ray?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know they really flew you in a copter. I thought maybe a lot of it was just for TV.
So, okay, here are the helicopters I've been in. I've been in Blake Shelton's helicopter. He flew me from his ranch back to the airport.
That's freaky.
He didn't.
No, there's no way.
I just walked outside his house and got in it, and then they flew me over to the airport because he lives in Oklahoma, but it's not that far via helicopter to get over to the Dallas airport. So did that. It's easy. You know, we didn't get that high. You get whatever. Bear Grylls. One of the Bear Grylls episodes, we hung off of it on a rope as they flew us up over the mountains.
Parachutes?
No, you just clipped on.
Interesting.
That's why it's so scary.
Parachute.
If they give me a parachute, I'd be like, was there a chance we're going to fall?
Yeah, right.
That'd suck.
Gonna strap somebody on my back too?
The other Bear Grylls episode, I had to stand on the outside of it while we like flew around.
Right.
Would get in it and as well through in Norway, going all over. What was the other show I did?
Snake in the grass.
Snake in the Grass in Costa Rica. We had to get places via helicopter a lot, and you were just thankful because otherwise you're just on the roads. It was bouncing you all over the place.
Well, you have more experience than me, then go with what you know.
Well, I'm not an echelon though.
No.
I don't fall in any echelon when it comes to helicopters.
But I mean, I've been many a Thanksgiving dinners where it's been explained to me, do not get in a chopper. So I'm married into it. So I'm just giving you this information that was given to me. Take
Are
it or
you
leave
saying, let me ask you, and I want you to be honest. If Jerry Jones called you and said, hey, Raymundo, We're going to get in this 10-seater luxury helicopter and fly across town to get to the stadium. Would you like to go with me? What would you say?
I would say I can't. I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to?
Yeah, there's been times where we could have had the option to get in a helicopter and we've had to turn it down.
But not this option.
But he flies it every week, every day.
I know, but I mean, it's just something that it's a pact, if you will, that the family's made. None of us are ever going to get in a helicopter.
Wow.
Just because of how unsafe they are. Experts in the field say no. That's why these people fly the Southwest.
Are you sure
Frontier.
it's just not a helicopter is less safe than a plane, which is extremely safe, and a helicopter is just really safe?
No, it's been told to me that helicopters not only are not
I need to know
safe,
what echelon again, though.
they
Yeah.
are dangerous. He's won awards. Whenever I've seen the guy,
You're
he's got
saying generic things,
he's
very
got
broad things.
4 stars on his shoulder.
Isn't he a Southwest guy now?
Yes, he's top of the line, though.
Well, what does that mean, top of the
I
line?
don't know.
He doesn't know. He just okay. Are helicopters safe?
You Googled this?
Yeah. Let's see here.
Well,
Are
you're going to pop
helicopter-
up a lot of articles there.
Well, mostly it's comparing it to planes,
Yeah.
right? So, and planes are very safe, and I hate planes. I don't like to fly at all. Helicopters are more dangerous than planes. The crash rate for helicopters is 9 per 100,000 hours.
Oh, that's great.
So basically 9.
9 hours to 100,000. That's great odds.
I mean, if I'm doing the math here, for every 100,000 hours, there's an incident, not a full death, where a helicopter is not able to function properly.
And we're probably going to just be in the helicopter for 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're not even gonna fly for 10,000 hours.
Not even a full
So
hour.
we can't even, or 100,000 hours. We can't even have 9 accidents.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, Ray. Helicopters are crashing approximately 35% more than aircrafts,
Oh, damn. That's not good.
which don't really crash.
But they do sometimes. I
Think-
just saw on the news one crash the other day.
But those are like lawyers that are flying these things.
Yeah.
That have a little money. There's a difference. So I'm going to say this. How many times have you heard about a Southwest flight, American Airlines flight crashing?
Very rare.
Once every 2 years, maybe? So that means if it's 35% more, I feel good about it.
Oh, I do too. And not to sound morbid, but I did think about this. If there was a way I'm going to go, I mean, that's not bad to be in Jerry's helicopter.
But you wouldn't be the one announced. It's going to be Jerry went down.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'd be in the article.
I mean, do I even get in the article?
Yes.
Jerry and
It's
Bones.
Jerry, Bobby, and then the whole
And his
article
video
will
radio
keep going.
guy.
I would not be in that article. So I would,
Mike D's not in it. No, I think that all of us
You're
would
in
be
the
it.
smaller text, but Mike D's not listed at all, that we think?
unidentified body is what I would be.
Oh, that's so sad. Now, I think I would be after the story. There would be you guys, headline, story of what happened, and then at the bottom, also in the aircraft, these guys.
Well, we're going to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not as much fog there. I hear you on that. Let's hope birds as well. They can also stop the.
Why are you
goose,
saying more things that can kill us?
Because that's how it's been said to me. So all it would take is one bird and the thing goes down.
You're talking Captain was Sully?
Sully couldn't have stopped a chopper.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you one more time, but you to be honest.
Yes.
If they said you get to go interview Jerry Jones, but you have to ride with him in his luxury helicopter 10 miles across the city, you would say, and it's the only way you can do it.
Not allowed to. I can't do that.
Not
But
allowed.
would you sneak it and just not tell anybody and do it?
Baszler would find out. I found that out the hard way. She always finds out. It may take her a day or two, but she'll find
What's
out.
the hard way?
What?
Yeah, go into
got a
that
story
story.
here?
I want to hear that
Oh,
story.
I mean, the hard way was I stopped gambling, what was it, a year ago? And then I had a secret credit card. And I mean, she found out within a
Oh
month.
my gosh, she had a secret credit card.
Jeez.
You were gambling with the credit card?
Yeah.
How do you gamble with a credit card? Is that overseas stuff?
They used to allow it here.
They did allow it.
With
It's
a
very
credit
dangerous.
card? They don't
Yeah.
even allow you to gamble, to buy lottery tickets with a credit card anymore.
This was the same website where if you cashed out, it would come from like Mike's sub shop in Pennsylvania, and you'd be like, "That's weird." That would be the charge.
Yeah, we do things legit here.
This is different.
Do you think you'd get away with a secret credit card?
Well, I did, but she's a great investigator.
How'd you
she
get
should've-
caught? How'd you get caught?
How did I get caught? I believe
You know.
I mean, I really
Did you
100%
leave an
you know.
envelope? Where'd
Yeah.
the mail get sent to?
No, I think that she wanted to see my credit because my credit was up in the 700s and she wanted to see it. And because I wasn't paying off the credit card, it had dropped into the 600s.
Wait, so
and-
you had a fake one and you weren't even paying, or a secret one, you weren't even paying it off?
No, because I was losing at gambling. I had no money.
Uh-huh.
So the credit card was maxed out, and then I just plumb ran out of money to gamble anymore.
Well, it's tough life for Raymundo.
With all the credits back in the 700s.
He's climbing back.
I read a lot about your algorithms.
Yeah, sometimes successful, not so much with football. They were great with the NCAA. I nailed March Madness with those.
which I only saw last night. The Sore Loser. I guess we won every award in that Nashville scene thing. Mike won Best Podcast. Sore Losers won Sports Podcast.
Yeah.
Bobby Cast.
I won. Bobby Cast, did it win something?
yeah.
Oh, you won for best personality.
Yeah, I won Best Radio Personality.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't. They hate us over there because we were like the B team launched every award.
We won every award. That's awesome.
I had no idea. I didn't know. Mike won the big trophy, but we got little mentions too. So good for the Sore Losers.
Yeah, that's a Nashville network right there.
Love
Flexing
it.
our muscles.
Good for yeah. Hey, Ray, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you want to? You can do the 2 quick things before you go. Do you want to do the warm up with this and the tittle tattle?
Sure.
Okay, and then Ray will go. He's got other jobs to do. Mike, let's do the warm up first. So we do, when you warm up before a big game, we do stretches. Here's our warm up question. What is your worst habit? Around the room. What is your worst habit? I'll go to Eddie first. Eddie,
Probably coffee.
hold on.
That's blowing us in.
We got to start the show.
Okay. I was
I was
like,
ready to go
are
with
you
Ray.
arguing with my coffee?
No, Ray's never here, so I was just thrown off.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What is yours?
I would say coffee.
That's your worst habit, coffee.
Well, yeah.
What's my worst habit? Not having bad habits.
Yeah.
No, I mean
That's one of those answers.
I mean, I don't really like. I've had bad habits, and I've done really well at like getting rid of those. And so I think my worst now is coffee.
But how is that a bad habit?
It's not good for you. And I drink probably 5 or 6 cups a day. I know my teeth get yellower and like it's just not
that
good.
much?
Yeah, I drink. Oh yeah,
All right, I'll accept it.
It's a big thing.
Hey, Mike D, what's your worst habit?
I am very messy. My worst thing. I
Yeah.
just can't keep anything clean.
Kickoff Kevin?
Probably I always want to munch on something when I'm at home.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
just
just
want
sit there and do nothing.
to give too much to charity.
Okay.
That's what that coffee sounded like, though.
Well, so what about I eat everything? I eat too much.
That's not a good habit.
Mine's probably about my fingernails, constantly.
How is that any? It's like coffee. I think Ray's got a good one.
There
Go
are
to Ray.
studies though that say coffee's good for you.
Ray's gonna go deep.
I know.
Having secret credit cards.
That's why I saved him as I saved him as the closer of this bit.
Ray starts crying.
Your worst habit, Ray?
Mine is it's drinking too much on a Friday night. There's always
Yeah.
that nice, fun 2 to 4 beers range, but for whatever reason, I push the limit to 8, 9, and then you wake up with a raging hangover.
But you need half of one to get drunk. Why do you keep pushing it?
Not anymore. I mean, I'm a $1.80 now. I can drink a pretty good amount before I really feel it.
That's not true.
But he used to say that too, and he'd have like half of a spritzer and be
Yes.
like, "Oh,
Yeah, he didn't even drink beer. He drinks like a White Claw. or
Seltzers,
something.
yeah.
I do, and high noons. Yeah, I love the white seltzers, but
can your wife outdrink you?"
no. She lays really low now. Now she's smarter than both of us. She drinks about 2 when she's out, so I don't know how she mastered that, but props.
You guys were good last weekend when I saw you.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we had just started. It was breakfast.
It's true.
They do. They go early.
We were.
I know they go early.
I was
Early.
2 hours in already.
Yeah. All right, let's do the tittle tattle. We'll get Ray out of here.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
Ray, here's how this works. If I say something you disagree with, you can blow your whistle. I know they didn't give you a whistle, but you just blow the whistle if you disagree. All right, go ahead, Kevin.
All right. Do you think Kirby Smart and Georgia are happy to be flying under the radar in the last month?
The coaching staff probably is. I mean, it's been all about Alabama, Tennessee. We could go through all the games, but yeah, I think so. I think because the expectations aren't on them and because they're not playing prime time, yeah, they're just handling business. I think that's what a coach wants, to not have to be talking about being number one, who they're going to play in the championship, just handling business. Yeah, I think they really like that, and they're going to wallop Tennessee. It is going to be ugly. And you know what? People are going to start going, yeah, Tennessee, I bet they can give them a shot. And Georgia's not. You know how I pick games? Emotion.
That's true.
Georgia's going to go, why is everybody giving Tennessee all this heat now? And they're going to show why big boy football is. If Tennessee beats Georgia and Alabama, it's over.
They're going to the ship.
They can lose a game after
Yes,
that and
yes.
still
Yes.
make it to the 4. So, yeah, I think Georgia loves the fact that they're not all over everything right now. I think a coaching staff does anyway. Players may be getting annoyed. So I'm going to go, yeah. What else you got?
If Oregon dominates UCLA this weekend, do you think people will forget about their week 1 showdown beatdown from Georgia?
No, because they're like beating up their brother. And if your family's genetically a small family and you beat up your brother, you're
That's
like,
normal.
yeah, you beat up your brother. Now, if you go beat up the big neighbor, which is Georgia,
That makes the news.
yeah, but you may be the strongest in your family. But and that's what the entire, we'll call it the California Football League is,
Yeah,
even
that
though
pack
Oregon's
over
not.
there.
Yeah,
Well, Pac-12.
Oregon got humiliated. And yes, it was early season. And yes, they are better than what that was. That was real bad, and that's going to sit in everyone's mind. It's going to affect things, even if they only have one loss. If Georgia is in the playoff and they're like, should we let Oregon in or not? And it's Oregon versus somebody else to get in. They're not going to put Oregon in because they've already seen what they can do against that competition in that 4.
You don't think that's too far back? Like people already forgot about it?
Yes. No. They didn't forget about it. But I do think it's unfair, and it is a long way back. But also, I mean, look at Oregon's quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing at Auburn the last couple of years. They also know what his sort of strengths and limitations. Nothing is really new to us, and we're like, I can't wait to see what Auburn does in this part of their game. We kind of know they're good. They can't play with the big boys. But really, could they? Maybe they had a bad day. But we're not going to forget that. Nobody's going to forget that. Wow. The group of old men who decide who's going into the Final Four they're not going to forget that. And if there's a debate and Florida versus another one-loss team, it's going to be, or Oregon versus a one-loss team, it's going to be the other one-loss team.
Yeah.
Unless it's somebody like Liberty from another
like
smaller conference.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but no, they're just beating up each other over there.
They're just having their own little party over
But
there.
if they win, that's awesome. If they win, they get an argument.
Yeah.
Because UCLA's good.
Mm-hmm.
USC is good till they're not again, and they get beat by Utah, and then you're like, well, Utah's good until they got humiliated by Florida, and then
Not
Florida's
good.
good, and then it's just one after the other, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. That ain't gonna be a good deal for Oregon at the end of the season. That beat down.
Okay. Which ranked Big 12 matchup are you looking forward to most?
Texas, and here's why.
Didn't
They're
you-
good. I told you guys at the beginning of the season they're good. When Ewers went out, that's where they weren't good anymore. They're good. And I want to see them play Oklahoma State because I want to see how real deal Ewers is. Because he's a real deal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He'll be there this year and next year, and he'll go to the NFL. He'll probably be a top 5 pick. His hair makes you go, I don't know if I like him.
Ooh, that's why I like him.
Or I
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah.
Like it's his hair, it's his attitude. He makes $1 million at Ohio State, doesn't play, big recruit from Dallas. All the things that make you want to not like somebody. If you're jealous of somebody, they're there with him.
And he's out.
No, he's playing, but he was out for a couple
But I
weeks.
mean, he's gonna go to the NFL.
Not this season, after next.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has another year. So that's why Manning comes in. Manning has a year to sit, and then Manning takes over. And this is perfect world dominoes going in the right slot scenario.
Texas can be good then.
Yeah.
Dang.
They're going to be good next year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bijan will be gone next year.
Yeah, but they'll have
I
another
agree.
5-star guy.
Replace it.
Yeah.
I want to see that game because if Texas really puts it to Oklahoma State, because I think they'll win. If they put it to them.
But you think they're gonna put it to him?
If they do, what I'm saying is if they do, then that's why I want to see this game. The question is, what game do I want to see?
Yeah.
This, because I want to see if Texas.
I didn't even get to the second game, by
That
the way.
is the question.
What was the other one? TCU?
Kansas State and TCU.
Yeah, that game's really fun. It's
Cute.
cute. It's
That's
cute.
too much purple, man. I'm not going to know who has the
And
ball.
I'm colorblind, so I'm like, what the? Why is everybody? And that's a cool game. That's like the real game. That's the game that doesn't have a lot of of media sparkle on it, but it's the real game that probably matters the most because those two teams are two teams that can play defense and can run the ball. And we'll probably win the Big 12, one of those two teams. But I want to see the other game because I am. It's like the Cowboys when they're not good. People still watch. I'm curious about Texas because they've been so not good for a long time. And, Ewers comes in, a lot of story. I want to see. He almost beat Bama. They probably would have beat him if he didn't get hurt. Then he comes back and they roll. So, and I did say and got a lot of hate for it that I thought Texas could push for the Big 12 title. I still believe that they could have, maybe still can if they win. It's going to be tough. But TCU, they haven't lost a game yet. But that's why I want to see. I'm not even saying I want Texas to win. I don't like Texas because I'm from Arkansas. We're taught to not like Texas, but I'm still curious about them. But that's why.
It's intriguing.
Yeah, that's the
Agreed.
game I want to see the most. That's the game I will be betting on the most. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Going to the NFL, which quarterback performance this year surprised you more, Russell Wilson or Geno Smith?
Ooh.
The Geno is surprising because he's been slightly below average, slightly above average,
He's
kind
been
of
passed around.
kind of just and bebopping around different teams, never backing up, playing a few starts. So I don't know that I'm surprised that he's playing consistently well. We've seen him play well before and splash. Well, then he won't play anymore for a while, or he plays terrible, then he doesn't play anymore for a while. He didn't really get a chance to show what he can do. He's still not the answer there. I don't think they think he's the answer there either. But the fact that Russell Wilson sucks so bad,
That's crazy.
that's crazy. And they paid him $200 million.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we being unfair because he's got a lat that's hurt? Now he's got a hamstring. Or is he just – because I used to do this. I drop a pass. Oh, my leg. God dang. Oh, come on.
You
grab
did
my leg.
that?
A couple times. Yeah, if I dropped one. I'd be like, oh, I didn't really get it because, oh, ouch, son of a gun. And like 2 plays later, are you good? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know which one it is. We can't feel his body. I'm more surprised by what's happening in Denver because between Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson and Hackett coming from coordinator spot in Green Bay, and you're like, you're going to score 10,000 points a game.
Yeah.
And they haven't. And so that's surprising to me that they suck. I do expect the Broncos to have a midseason bounce, though. And I don't think they're going to win them all, but I do think they'll end up around 500 a little better. Their defense is good.
They're so bad.
They are right now. But
They're
first of all,
so bad.
say it with me. Their defense is good.
Their defense is good, but they're so bad.
And all the offense has to be is pretty good.
He's missing guys. Why? I know you've seen
I
all
agree.
over the internet.
Is he hurt, though? If he's legitimately hurt
Yeah.
with a lat, with a hamstring, that sucks for him.
Mm-hmm.
And we should not be as judgmental. But this is a show based on judgmentalness.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
So I'm more surprised by what's happening in Denver in general and Russell Wilson because
Agreed.
if he's hurt, that sucks for him because we're taking shot after shot going, dude,
Yeah.
you suck.
He makes it easy though too.
And he said, yes, and he's kind of a goober.
Yeah.
So he does make it
Let's
easy.
ride.
Yes. Right, what do you think about Russell Wilson?
Yeah, did we think he was going to be a world beater in Denver?
We thought he'd be 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. So did they. So did the great. They paid him a bunch of money. They watched him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think really. I thought he was gonna be any good in Denver, and then all the commercials are coming out. Now we all just bag on him, and he's a joke. I mean, he's got to just nip this in the bud right now. No more commercials. He needs to get serious about football. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because he finally married Sierra, and he's got more time with his family. He's not being Tom Brady. But Russell Wilson ain't looking good. But I didn't expect him to be amazing in Denver.
I guess except for when he hurt his finger, he at least was playing pretty well to great, depending.
In Seattle? Or we
Yeah.
talking- Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Seattle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at his worst, he was still pretty good on a bad
Yeah.
Seattle
Yeah.
team. He's still pretty good.
Yeah.
At his best, I mean, he was losing Super Bowls. He won. I mean,
Yeah.
you know the situation
I know.
there.
I know.
Because
seen it.
those are your boys.
I seen it. Yeah.
So I don't think anyone expected him to be Russ from Super Bowl Russ.
Sure.
But
This bad? No chance.
exactly.
I mean, we're like,
So-
it's bad.
So he's got to be hurt, right? Honestly, you don't fall that hard that young.
I think it's a mixture of hurt, and I also think that there is some kind of coaching Russell Wilson power struggle going on. I feel like every time he runs a play, fourth down play or a third and long or whatever, it's like he wants to do something, but he's forced to do another play that the offense coordinator is calling. And it seems that way. And I think there's something that they need to work out here. I think it's a power struggle.
But those are the ones he's good at, the 3rd and 20s.
When they let him do it.
When he's creative and then he finds a guy
Yes.
wide open. Okay,
But
so
I
agree
feel like
with
when
you.
there's a play being called, he doesn't like it. And then there's just like, you made me do it. And it's
So you think they need a therapist?
Yes, like in
Okay.
Ted Lasso, that lady that comes in.
Yeah, like it's a good point.
Well, and now everybody has a podcast, so I mean, the guys are out there saying they don't even have his phone number. So he's
Well,
not
that's
even
always
close
been
to
a part of it. Yeah, he had
That's
his own
funny.
he had his own little office
Yeah.
supposedly. So I've heard
I mean, that's terrible.
in
on
the
a
locker
team.
room. Like he's not in the same locker room with the rest of the team.
But we do that with you. What are you talking about?
No,
I have to call your secretary to get a hold of you.
Hey, will you just tell her that comment by the way?
yeah.
Circle back
I'm
around
sorry,
to
I
me.
was talking to her.
Yeah, good. It's a bizarre situation, and Nathaniel Hackett's made a bunch of bonehead moves just with time management, like elementary style stuff, where it's just been like a whole comedy there for a while. I do think they'll kind of figure it out and be good enough to continue and have some optimism for next season. Maybe even try. I think they end up 500 a little better. But right now, it doesn't look like a 500 or a little better team.
I'm pissed at Jerry Jeudy. Like, I have him in my fantasy team. And
Drop him.
I mean, he just doesn't seem like he wants to catch the ball.
But he doesn't have a lot of shots.
My 9-year-old does that. I'm like, what are you doing? Do you not want to catch the ball? You're looking like Jerry Jeudy out there.
I mean, I have Cortland Sutton, who is playing really well, but it's also like, what do you expect when your quarterback sucks and can't get the ball to you? How good can you get?
No, I get it. But it's almost like Jerry Jeudy knows that the ball's not going to be within 5 yards. He's like, so why try to get it?
He's not running full routes.
He's really not. And it frustrates me.
And they still haven't even played the Chiefs yet.
And they're playing who's they playing this week?
The Jets.
Oh yeah. I mean the Jets got to be going like, wow, this is like the greatest season ever. And they may lose, But still, the Jets got to be like, dang, now we get to play the Broncos. This is awesome. All right, what else?
Which 3-3 NFC team do you think will turn it around first, the Packers or the Bucs?
I expect them both to turn it around.
Ooh.
The problem with the Packers is they don't have the weapons to go, well, we've been doing it all wrong, so let's just switch up how we're doing it and we can get it right. They're trying to do the same thing, but they don't have the players. It's like going into war and you lose a couple battles and you're like, all right, well, let's go fight again. But you're like, we only have the same weapons. Well, let's just try harder. That's what the Packers have to do. They just have to try harder with the same weapon. Where like Brady and those guys, they have the weapons. They have some of the guys are injured and they'll be back. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, Julio should just sit out the first half of the year and just come back instead of trying to keep coming back. Okay, I can go this week and then slightly. But there's a lot of injury over in Tampa. And they also have Tom Brady. Now, they have Aaron Rodgers too, but I think Tampa has a better shot to turn it around because they have the actual weapons to do it. Green Bay doesn't.
I did see today that the Packers are reportedly going all in to try to get Chase Claypool.
Where Aaron Rodgers was going, hey, when there's trades, we need to be making them. He's saying the same thing. He said, we don't have the players. How do you expect us to win? He doesn't want to say it. But when Lazard is your best receiver, depending on what week it is, when Tanyan has to be your guy, that sucks.
Yeah.
So, and that's what's happening in Green Bay.
I like Tanyan.
I do too. I like him a lot. But I'm saying
we like
he
him.
ain't the guy that you got to go, all right, we're leaning on you all game, Tanyan. He's easy to cover if you focus on Tanyan. So I think Tampa really has the shot. I think they're both going to be fine, by the way. And they both make the playoffs. But if you're asking which one, I think it's Tampa because they have all the tools there when they all get back in the toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Yeah, one more. Okay. Which of the two New York teams do you think is more of a serious contender, the Giants or the Jets?
Well, you want to say the Giants only because they've won one more game and you just expect nothing out of either one of them. And you're just going, well, we expect them both to fall off soon because of who they are. The Giants were 4-1,
and then
3-2, or 5-1, and 4-2. Yeah. So they're like a game up in the standings. So that immediately puts two teams you don't expect to be doing. Let me ask you this: who would you get to pick one quarterback? Do you pick Zach Wilson or Daniel Jones for the rest of your career?
Daniel Jones.
Boy, I don't know if I do.
Daniel
Zach
Jones.
Wilson's got a better arm. I mean, I've seen multiple games of him. And maybe it was the England one, and maybe when they played the Titans. He's got an amazing arm. He drops it in the basket, dude. I don't know if Daniel Jones does that. Daniel gets 50 yards a game. That's cute. But
he's cute. He can run.
But he's not Josh Allen run. He's clumsy.
He's not
I
Josh
get it.
Allen because he's not as thick. Like he doesn't run over people.
Yeah.
But let me say this: I'm unfair with even asking this question because you can go, well, Zach Wilson, who went number 2 overall, didn't he go number 2 overall?
Yeah.
Too? And you go, yeah, but Daniel Jones was like 5 or 6 or 7. He was up in that. So they were both drafted very high. Yeah. I think they both just play for garbage organizations. So we just have a bad feeling about who they are because they've never had a real chance. They've never had a good offensive line. They haven't had a bunch of weapons. So we go, they're garbage quarterbacks.
I like the Giants coaching. I like the coaching staff. I think the Giants could do really well. But I think with the division, with the Eagles and the Cowboys, it's going to be tough. That's the only reason I wouldn't. I would think that the Jets are going to have a better season than the Giants. But
are the Cowboys legit?
yes.
I
And
knew
we're
you'd say
about to
that.
find out even more with Dak on Sunday.
He's for sure playing.
For sure.
Yeah, there you go, Mike.
Yeah, thank you for the bias alert.
Mike, you
Hey.
don't hit the bias alert on us.
I'm going to say this, though, about the
Us.
coaching real quick because, sure, Dable and the Giants are getting a lot of praise right now. But Saleh and with the Jets, I was listening to Mike McDaniels talk about him, who's the Dolphins coach, and he was talking about how who's now the Jets coach, talking about they're really good friends and how he used to just hang out in offices. He got fired because they had a whole staff changeover at one of the last jobs, maybe even San Francisco. And he wouldn't leave the office. He stayed there for 48 hours and didn't move out so he could stay in there when the new coaching staff came in. He said he stayed at his desk and stayed there because he knew if he left, his key card didn't work. So he just kind of stayed, hid. When the new coach came in, no shower, nothing, went up. Yo, I'm the guy you need for this job. Like, this is why. Had an opportunity, got the job.
Wow.
Oh.
That's cool.
And he was talking.
Probably illegal, but cool.
And just at how dedicated he was, had the work ethic, creative. And so, I'm going to go with the Giants, but it's very close once I start to argue with myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think just because they have the one game, that's the only separator because I'm a little surprised by both.
Oh, yeah.
I think the quarterbacks to me are very similar in that I don't know enough about either one of them in the NFL because they haven't had a shot to actually prove themselves because they play with garbage teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with the Giants only because they're sexy right now,
Okay.
and it's sexy. The new-
Sexy.
It's all sexy.
Get ready for that Saquon injury. It's coming.
We
always
talked
does.
about that. We were like, how many
Yeah.
weeks will he miss this year?
Right.
And I said less than 2.
Well, he's already questionable. I don't know what he did, but
Well, he hurts
something.
his shoulder every game.
Every week he's questionable.
It's got to be just how he runs.
He comes out of the game
Vicious.
doing this at least 3 times. We're holding his arm like this.
Yeah.
At least 3 times a game.
Yeah.
And once he doesn't go back in, and I'm like, great, because I have him on my fantasy team. I'm like, great. Well, there goes there goes the whole season. And then all of a sudden, 3 plays later, he's in catching balls again. But yes, he will get hurt at some point.
I'm feeling it. I don't know why.
Well,
What do
because
you mean
every
you don't know
year,
why? How is
every
that?
year he's been hurt. All right, Mike, that's it.
The stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with Kickoff Kevin.
Raymundo, thank you for stopping by. There he is, Raymundo from the Store Losers Buy Bone Show.
There he
Thank
is.
thank you. Hey, we have a massive update. One that when I saw it yesterday, I could not believe my eyes.
You're doing this every episode. Now, I mean, you're just building it up.
No, I could not believe my eyes.
What is that?
So much so, I don't know, something I made up. So much so that I had to send out texts because I was like, is this even true?
Huh?
Did you not see in your email the update?
No.
Who's going to be on the show next week?
No.
No, don't look now. I'm about to tell you. There's no need to search your email right
now,
this second.
now I'm wondering, like, what are you talking
Too
about?
late now.
Kevin, what would you like to say to the show?
I would like to say last week I drew a new coach, and the coach goes by the name of Shane Beamer at South Carolina. So I reached out to Shane Beamer's communications guy at South Carolina and just threw out the email, the typical that we've all talked about. And I got an email back yesterday and it just said, Shane Beamer is available this time on Monday. Boom.
Okay.
And so,
So
I
we
went to
have
Mike.
booked for
We're
Monday
good.
Coach Shane Beamer from the University of South Carolina.
wow.
Let's go.
You got a coach in the middle of the season? I thought that was impossible.
It happens. They just don't respect us. And you know what? Maybe we don't deserve their respect.
Wow.
But we got it. That's a great job.
Yes.
And you know what? So you'll get your point, and you still have the ability to get any coach to get back to even, and then use this as your one.
Okay.
So you don't have to use this as your get out of jail free card.
Okay.
But you have to get another coach. But now that you have this, we got to put you on 2 week. You have 2 weeks to get any other coach.
Okay. Fair enough.
And he
Yeah.
doesn't get his point until the interview is done.
Correct.
All right.
You have to
Yeah.
finish it.
So, yeah.
So here's what I would hope if I were you. South Carolina's got a big game this weekend. I'd hope they don't lose. Because all of a sudden people start to get really unavailable.
I know.
We've seen that before.
I think that's what's happening
we
with me
have.
with Auburn. I mean, it's
They
just.
always lose over and over. They're never
I
available.
mean, they're never available. I mean, I've got nothing back from Auburn.
Well,
But I'm still pushing. I don't want a new coach. Although I did get
yeah,
a
do
DM.
you see what I saw?
forgot that they're playing. Ooh, that's right.
What do you want to say? Who are they playing?
Texas A&M.
That's right.
Woo.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
that's right.
We talked about it
Gamecocks.
on
We
Wednesday,
did talk
yeah.
about that. Oh no, I'm just thinking with. I did get a DM about a small head coach that wants to come on, but I don't even know the name of the school. I didn't recognize it, and I don't think that's D1.
That'd be tough then.
So I got to do a little bit of research, and
Be
if
tough for a
so, I'm
point.
DMing back, and we're gonna get this guy on.
That'd be tough for a point. Yeah, that'd be tough.
Can I get half a point?
That'd be tough. I don't know, buddy.
Not even a half.
That'd be tough. Tua says he doesn't remember much about what happened. He remembers in the game
Yeah.
a little bit about going to the hospital, but doesn't remember anything. Here's some clip.
There was a point where I was unconscious, so I couldn't, really tell what was going on. So when I did come to and kind of realize what was going on, what was happening, I didn't think of anything, long-term or short-term. I was just wondering what happened. Yeah, I remember the entire night up to the point where I got tackled.
So it's weird to not know what happened to you and not remember that because you got racked in the head so hard.
That means it's really, really bad.
Yeah, and it would also, I know he's a football player, wants to play football, ready to get back out there, which he will. Human nature is still to be like, oh my God, what if this happens again?
Yeah, exactly.
And
He's
to
gotta
thro-
be done.
And to throw just a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And to be like, oh God, I don't want this, just human nature would be like, I don't want this to happen again, so I'm going to do what I can to make sure it doesn't, even just instinctually. Even if you're not thinking, like, I'm going to stay in the pocket, I'm going to look, if I get hit, I get hit. I'll take the shot. Wow, look, you took the shot just to be able to get the ball away. After coming off an injury like this, do you still? And even if you think you're going to, subconsciously, isn't it like battling with, throw the ball. You don't want it. It's not worth it.
Right. I don't know how players, and I'll never understand this because I don't have the personality or the DNA built of being an athlete like the way they are. But how do the rest of the players continue the game when they see someone fencing like that? When they see their hands
Well, they've
know.
seen a lot of people get hurt over a
Oh,
lot of
I
years.
know, but within minutes.
it's-
All right, get back to it. Now you got to go play full speed. God, I just don't know how they can keep doing that.
My guess would be they're able to compartmentalize while it's happening, and they don't really let it affect them then. It's
Yeah.
more of an after thing because they
Yeah.
know they got a game to play.
I mean, think about them play to play. You know, like you drop a pass or a big wide open pass, and the whole crowd lets you have it, but you have to move on to that next play.
yeah,
I'm
no, I
not saying
get
I'm
it.
not comparing the two, but I'm just saying they have such
Yeah,
a
hard
good way.
comparison. Hard comparison. Tom Brady compared to something military.
They have such a good way of just moving
a
on.
little different.
Hard comparison. A reminder, 25 Whistles brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports and get in on the action. Here's the parlay of the week. Ba 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 parlay. Ba 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 ba. More smiles than frowns. Thank you. Okay. Up first, Ole Miss and LSU. That is a game happening on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Central. It is in Death Valley, and I'm taking Ole Miss plus 1.5. Ole Miss is being disrespected, even though they deserve a little bit of respect.
Ole Miss is wow. I like it.
Ole Miss plus 1.5
So disrespected, that counts as emotion.
on the road. Yeah, well, say something to me that's disrespectful.
You're ugly.
Ooh, I'm going to beat you in a game of football.
That's what's happening with
Yeah.
it? Okay.
That's what happens there. South Carolina plus 3 as Texas A&M comes to town. The Fighting Shane Beamers.
Let's go.
We need him to win, guys. Or
Yeah, we
I'm gonna,
really do for
I'm
the
gonna feel like
podcast.
he ain't gonna be on the show. Yeah.
Dang it.
So you kind of wish they were playing like a rent-a-win.
Yeah.
But South Carolina plus 3. I have them. That game is in South Carolina, and it is at 6:30 on Saturday night. So we're going with the dog there. And for the first time, we're doing an over/under.
Ooh.
It's new.
I like it.
New here. So BYU and Liberty are playing, and the over/under is 58.5. And I'm going on the over because we play BYU. They throw the ball. They can score some points. That's what Liberty does too.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, and that's a pretty high number for them to hit 60, honestly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I feel like BYU and Liberty, we're going to score some points. Not known for their defensive prowess. So there it is. Eddie, don't bet it.
I didn't. I'm not even writing it down.
Don't bet
Everybody
it.
relax.
Because the last time, yeah.
Stay
I didn't
away.
even write it down. I didn't even listen. All I heard was Liberty. I don't even know why.
I was doing a commercial. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Listeners who don't have DraftKings Sportsbook app can download it now. Get the DraftKings Sportsbook app and get on the action with 25 Whistles Parlay on DraftKings Sportsbook. If you want to take the 25 Whistles Parlay, check out the DraftKings Sportsbook. New users, please use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. There you go on that one. The NFL standing by the roughing the passer enforcement, which is a general, we're just enforcing it more. I'm okay with it. They were very open and honest about why they're doing it. They said quarterbacks make us money. But
They said that?
basically, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Why?
It just takes away from the game. Like I want them as a fan to play the game. I know they care about money, but we're the ones that pay the money, and what we want to see is authentic, real football.
I think that's a great point. I'd like to just talk about it with you for a second.
Here you go. He sets me up when he says that, Kevin.
No, I
watch
think
this.
it's a wonderful
Watch
point.
this.
I think it is an excellent point. I like to flash back to something you said, where it's like the Bears and the Commanders. You remember games like that?
Oh yeah,
You said
Thursday night football.
And you said something like,
Sucks. Why watch that crap?
yeah. With in those games, what would you say probably the biggest, I don't know, deficiency was? Just throw something out there.
Huh? Deficiency.
Yeah, where's like lacking?
Oh, they're quarterbacks.
Yeah. So
God dang it.
let's act like
Gotcha.
there aren't every game's the Commanders and the Bears.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Most games are the Commanders and Bears. Those stadiums, you think they're all full? If you got Commanders and Bears at 75% of the games?
Probably
tough,
not.
yeah.
Probably not completely full.
Ratings.
90%.
Ratings.
Yeah,
Think-
people still watch.
Yeah. Do you think that everyone's gonna be drawn to a league of a lot of fullback and a lot of tight end and just running back? Oh my God. I mean, do you think that generally, macro speaking, that's good for the league?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. And I understand your point because I think everybody feels that way. Like, I just want to watch football. You do until you don't get the football that you like to watch. And there's a difference in liking football and getting to watch football that you like to watch because you don't like football.
Right. But
when it's the Commanders and Bears, you said it yourself.
okay, so if they hurt Tom Brady and Tom Brady's out, I mean, he's already on the way out. He's 70 years old. He's on his way out.
It ain't about Brady.
Hold on.
Okay. But it ain't about Brady, but it's not on the way out. He may win. They're still like third overall.
Because they're in a bad division. I get it.
It doesn't matter. And then they have Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Right. But if he does go out, which he will in the next few years,
Mm-hmm.
here comes the next class.
But that's one
We
quarterback
will
in one
keep getting them.
situation.
We're not going to kill them to where they're not going to play football anymore. Look at Tua. Tua almost died 2 times. He's coming back.
Took him weeks. And you want to talk about some boring offensive? Bridgewater gets hurt.
I know. I do like Bridgewater.
And then they put in
Skylar Thompson.
So again, you're making my point for me, and I love you for it.
You're putting me into the spot.
I'm not. I like it that you say that because I feel the same way. I don't want to see someone go 2 and touch. But if you have to protect someone, it is the quarterback because we like offense. We may like a good defense, but we like to watch home runs and touchdowns. That's it.
Yep.
We don't want to watch pitching battles. We'd love to have a good Clayton Kershaw in his prime, but do you want to watch every game, a 2-1 game where Kershaw gives up 1 run on an? That's not fun to watch, and that's fun for the purists only, but it ain't fun for growing the sport.
I know. But I also I don't want quarterbacks to start using all their little techniques to get 5 more yards.
I would.
Because
God, I'd cheat it so much.
Yeah, because the defender's like, I could definitely hit you and make you lose 10 yards, but I can't hit you, so now you're going to gain 10 yards.
I'm going to give you an analogy that's very similar to this, even pretty recent. When wide receivers were going across the middle and they used to just get killed.
Yes.
That was normal. They would just get killed 10 years ago. You're coming across, well, if you happen to lose your head, that's football. That doesn't happen anymore because we're protecting the high-profile players, and we see it now, and it's just normal. Like, oh yeah, you can't hit them that hard, because we need our good players because they sell jerseys, they sell tickets, they make us want to watch the games. We bet, so it's not weird anymore when you see a flag for a receiver getting his head cut off going across the middle. It's not weird anymore because we're like, everybody knows the rules.
Sure.
Same thing, and that's what's going to happen with the quarterbacks too. It's just going to take a second because when that started happening, we were like, we just want to see football. You should be able to hit him in the neck as hard as you could, then take him and DDT him. That's the football.
I'm not saying targeting.
But it's changing. People are getting bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic.
All right, Kanye.
Quarterbacks are worth more money.
Yeah. I know. I get it. It's just changing the game.
Why
And
does Mark Zuckerberg have a whole bunch of security, but the 7 executives under him don't?
That's a good
He
question.
control? No, it's not a good question. It's an easy question. I agree. It's weird. And sometimes I'm like, are you serious? But I know why they have to do it, and they should continue to do it. Otherwise, we get the Commanders and Bears half the league.
Okay.
And we do not want that.
We do not want that. You're right.
And there aren't a lot. It's not easy to replace a quarterback. We see it.
Yeah.
There are teams that try all the time, every 2 years, and they can't do it.
Once in a while, you get lucky and get a Cooper Rush in there.
Once in a while, I was going to say Josh Allen, but okay, Cooper Rush works too. So I'm with it. I'm good. This is going to be normal. Players, the body weight on, that's a tough thing to
Oh, that's
prevent.
tough.
It's tough. But
That's gravity, baby.
you know what else is tough? You make millions of dollars, figure it out. You're an athlete, figure it out. That's the new rule.
What I love, though, is when the defender falls on him and then picks his hands up. Well, you're still laying on him, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
His hands weigh so much.
And you know what? It's probably just showing an effort. I mean,
I
really,
get
that's
it.
what it is.
Yes.
But I mean, dude, those 350 pounds are still on him.
But you make a great point. I want to see football too, but what I would rather see is good football and that not go away. That's what I want to see more than football. Because
Yeah.
football, for the sake of football, is leather helmets, run up the middle, no forward pass. Because when they start throwing the ball forward, same people said the same crap. What's this bull crap? Forward pass?
You want the Broncos offense every night?
Oh my
No,
God.
I don't want that, Kevin.
Deshaun Watson busted for speeding months after the trade. He was going 97 and a 70.
Oh my.
And so he just wasn't making good decisions. Now it's out there. I mean, this guy, there's also another claim where she's like the same.
Really?
Yeah. Deshaun Watson found himself in trouble in Ohio months after he traded the Browns. He was going 97 and a 70. Here's the thing. This is back in June 11th, so it's just not coming out. If you're in a whole lot of trouble somewhere and you're trying to get out of it, stay out of trouble in other places. You
Yeah,
better be the most
100%.
model citizen ever, especially when you do something as heinous, as awful as this.
Yes. You got to be squeaky clean.
Deshaun is currently serving an 11-game suspension after he was sexually inappropriate with female masseuses during multiple massage therapy sessions during his time on the Texans. The quarterback who has denied wrongdoing is allowed to return week 13. I think he's now able to get in the facility, right?
Is that this week?
This week or next? It's there.
Yeah, you're right. Week 6. We're already there. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, week 6.
Jeez.
Hopkins comes back.
A game you're most excited about, around the room, the one game you're most excited about. Kevin.
It's not the sexiest, and I didn't think I'd pick this right off the top of my head, but I'm going to go with the Jets and Broncos only because of what we talked about earlier. One's 4-2, one's 2-4, and you would have thought it'd be roles reversed.
Do you know what I'm excited about that game? Just looking at the score.
Yeah.
Not watching it. I just want to see the score. I think it'd be fun. I want to see what the score is. And I'll watch some of it, but I don't really want to watch that game. I just want to see what the score is.
Yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it.
Because that's
Because you're intrigued. Like
I am by both teams.
Exactly.
For different reasons. But I just want to see what the score is. Look at the box score. Like, go to
There you
ESPN.com, hit the box score, and just see what everybody did.
I like it.
I do that a lot. Eddie?
Cowboys Lions, baby.
Oh, okay.
Look, I stop rolling your eyes,
do it,
guys.
but
It's-
Every week is
I
Cowboys.
can't.
Why
No,
don't we
it's
just
not.
say, Eddie, why are you excited about the Cowboys?
Yeah.
It is not every week. The Cowboys, I don't pick them every week, but this is Dak. Dak's coming back. I want to see him in action again.
That is fair, but you just pick them so often about stuff.
I don't. I probably picked them once before.
No, this is for sure at least the fourth or fifth time.
Go ahead.
back and listen to the tape. I just can't wait to see Dak back on the field. I want to see what he does, and if we're all correct in our predictions, Dak is just going to dominate and be way better. The Cowboys,
Who predicted that?
me, and all my
If we all in our predictions.
all my Cowboys fans out there.
Yeah, and to what we talked about earlier, I had written down Texas and Oklahoma State just because I'm just looking forward to seeing how good. I guess they both are, but really, like, is Texas back? I mean, ask it 20 times a year, and it's usually no
The answer is always no.
for the last 20 years. But that's good, and it's also the game. I guess I'm looking forward to seeing the result of too, because I'm just curious about the line. Is the Giants are 3-point underdogs? They're getting 3 points playing the Jaguars. So
Just
what do
don't-
they know?
I don't know.
That's one of those where you're like, I don't know what's going on. Somebody knows way more than me.
Yes.
But that makes me curious. We talked about that on the show last week or maybe earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one. Mike, is that all Cowboys for you or what?
No, I'm going with Washington at Cal because they've been on a 2-game losing streak. If they win this game, maybe I can hit on my coach
Get
and
the
be
Cal
like, hey,
coach on.
I like
get
it.
you
wants it.
on.
That's
I
a great
like
one.
it.
That's a great one.
Still biased.
We got a couple things to talk about and we'll wrap it. But I want to talk about DraftKings one more time. There are exciting things happening. I mean, look, you're watching the game. Like think about these games where it's ending in a field goal. Oh, when they call timeout to ice it, like you're all built up, about to win the game, they're like timeout. What's also tough is too if they don't call timeout when you think they're going to call timeout. It's like a double
Yeah,
reverse.
Same thing.
You're like, I know he's going to call timeout, so let me get up here. But then they don't. You're like, oh my god, like all that. That's stressful stuff. So, but it's so much fun, and that's why DraftKings is awesome. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Right now, new customers can make any $5 NFL bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Everybody can boost their winnings with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. It is amazing. It just SGP, boop, hit it, get it, and have more smiles and frowns. You know, that's what it's all about, right, guys?
right.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code BobbySports. Get $200 in free bets if your team wins when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's the code BobbySports. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and up, most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. You know, I did get texted Rumpelstiltskin by our executive, just
Oh,
randomly.
nice.
Hilarious.
And then he wouldn't
Nice.
even respond to my response because I was like, just say Rumpelstiltskin. And just randomly, I get a text that was Rumpelstiltskin. I was like, huh? I was like, oh, yeah.
Nice.
And it was near the end of the podcast, so we listened to the whole thing.
Love it.
So big shout out to our guy, Kevin Legret, who makes it all happen. We were going to have on Rocket Sanders today, who's leading the SEC in rushing. He had an exam.
Oh, good for him.
And I said, do not jeopardize this. Anything. Don't come on this show if you've got an exam. And he's like, okay, I was going to push it because his exam was like at 11. We were doing the interview at like 10:15, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, don't. He texted me like 5 o'clock this morning. I was like, do not do it.
Yeah.
He's like, I can, but I'm close. Do not do it.
5 a.m. That means he was studying too. God, that's what you want to hear from your starting running back.
So he's not on today, but we got a few good ones coming up. So we'll have Rocket on, maybe, hopefully. Coach Beamer will be on.
Come on. Let's go, South Carolina.
That's right. I was going to talk about a fantasy camp I'm thinking about going to, but I think I'll save that.
A fantasy camp?
Yeah.
Interesting.
For what?
You know, this is called the long tee.
The deep.
I remember, was there like an MTV like rock fantasy camp?
Yeah,
like
that's
back
music.
in the day?
Yeah, it's a sports one.
That's all I could think of.
I'm thinking about doing a sports one. It's really cool and maybe lame,
Huh.
but awesome.
Is
but,
this something my kids are going to be a part of too?
mm-mm.
Okay.
Nah, but maybe we'll get to that. I think that's it. We're going to wrap it. Go team, whoever your team is.
Go teams.
Hey, what's happening with the? Is there a quarterback controversy in New England?
They're talking about it only because he's 2-0 as a starter, and he's
yeah,
looked
but
good.
like the people are like, oh, Matt Jones got a bad attitude.
Yeah, that was all BS. They've already come out and said,
How do
"Oh, we
you
shouldn't
know?
have."
Well, I saw the DM. So the guy DM'd
Yeah.
the reporter. Reporter's like, I hear Mac Jones has bad attitude. And then the guy's like, oh, I got you.
Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't
okay.
verify who the guy
Okay.
DM'd was. He just took it and ran with it.
I'll tell you what, though. I watched that game, and every time I see Zappa, was that his name? Zappy?
Zappy.
What's his name?
Zappy. Bailey Zappy.
Zappy. I see him, and I'm like, oh, Mac Jones is back. Dude, they look like twins.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think he's like a little quicker looking.
Oh, I'm just saying his face.
The face. Just
The
the
face,
Oh,
they,
got it. I could-
especially under the helmet, they look like the exact same person. No, it's Zappy.
I guess I just think of Mac Jones shirtless in that Alabama picture when he's like pretty big. You know.
Yeah, he's ripped.
No.
No, the one where he's chubby.
Yeah.
And the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
I
is
think
there-
about that
I'm
picture,
thinking of them.
and then I think about the opposite of that,
Yeah.
and that's how I separate them.
That's
Oh,
true.
Zappy's ripped?
I don't know, but it can't be like Mac Jones. You have that picture.
I guess not.
All right, final thought before we get into the weekend, Eddie.
Final thought is, guys, look, I love rushing the field. I do. I'm all about it. I think it's great.
Me too. Love it.
Love it.
Done it a couple times.
But if you go down there, don't mess with the Lions. You see this Alabama guy in trouble
Mm-hmm.
for hitting people, whatever. These people are running up to him, putting their phones right up to their faces, and be like, we got you. You mess with the Lion, you're going to get bit. So I'm not saying what he did is right. I don't even know what he did. But if you're going to rush the field, don't mess with the other team's players.
if you go to the zoo, don't get in the cage.
Don't get in the cage, right? Like, so, for example, Tennessee, they're playing Tennessee Martin. If Tennessee Martin wins this game, the 5 people at the game
I'll rush the field.
rush the field.
I will drive there and rush the field. Tennessee Martin wins the game. I will be 2 hours late, but I will run out there like, ah!
I'll go with you.
Well, you and me fighting the post header and take it down. Just two guys.
Just do it. We can't do it.
Kickoff Kevin.
When you guys turn on College Game Day this weekend, you may find a 25 whistle sign out there somewhere.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we got a fan out there.
What are you up to?
I have a sibling. My sister goes to the University of Oregon, and game day is going to be there this weekend. She's making a sign today. She's going to send it to me. She's going to try to get on TV.
If we get it on TV, we should talk to her on Monday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
She gets it, but it's got to be like, you can't just like the top of the two and it.
That's true.
Like,
It's
if
gotta
you get
be
a good
big.
screen
No,
cap of the whole sign.
I think what she's going to do is print that and put it on a big old sign and then just say follow at or listen to, stream, whatever it is.
if we get a good image from it,
yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
we like to have her on the show.
Love it.
That'd
I've
be-
never done game day, but I mean, you have to get there really early to get up front, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
My sister-in-law, Caitlin's sister, got on game day. I don't know if she wants me telling the story.
Uh-oh. Back it up.
Slow the music down.
She got on game day. She went to Oklahoma State. I have a great story. Let me just ask her if I can tell it.
Okay. That's 2 long teases.
It's really good. Yeah, but I didn't plan this one. It's a really good, funny story. I want to make sure, though, that she's cool with
All
it.
right.
Okay, Eddie. Do you have anything, Mike?
How much should I bet this weekend?
All
on
of
your
it.
parlay.
All of it.
I'm fairly new to sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you go
Well, listen,
hard.
when you bet a parlay, here's the thing about parlays: the odds are you're not going to win one. It's tough. That's why they make it. It's why it's worth more. It's hard to win. So never bet more than you're comfortable losing. Only bet what's entertaining to you. $10. It's a good solid one.
Yeah.
10 on 1 parlay.
Yeah, on that 3
Yeah.
gamer.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do this weekend.
We should do a video though in the next couple weeks explaining some of the general terms about it because we talk about it and we never even. But there was a time when I didn't know what it was and I go Google search all
That's
that.
a good
crap.
idea.
Yeah. I like that.
All right, finally, we talk about football, but I want to talk about football for a second, which is there's a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Football and
I talked about football last time.
football. And it reminded me of it because Ray was in here. And once Ray he'd been drinking a lot and we were in a hotel and we were in Vegas. And he was in a pool and he kept pulling his wiener
Oh,
out
boy.
in the pool. I was like,
Antonio
there.
Brown him?
not, you know.
No, very different.
Very,
the
yeah.
opposite of Antonio
in every
Brown.
way. In every way.
Yeah.
I mean, gummy worm instead of,
Like the blur is much smaller.
yeah, and gummy.
Yes. Good way to put it.
But he was just drunk and he was just like
Oh, boy.
being an idiot. It wasn't like trying to. He was just like, look at me, I'm drunk. So you can't do that, right? You just can't. That's bad. And soccer people get a little nutty. So one of the players pulled out his wiener to distract an opponent during a free kick.
I mean, that's good tactic, though.
I mean, it's hilarious.
That's like some basketball stuff. Remember that movie?
Basketball.
The South Park guys? Yeah. So his name's Gayson Pierre pulled down his pants to distract the player. The opposition player missed the kick.
Well, obviously.
And then he said he wasn't intentionally doing it. He was just fixing his shorts.
Okay.
If nobody saw it, that was like, it's a tough thing.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I know. You shouldn't do
Can't
that.
really do
Hey,
that.
here we go. No.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I mean, it made it on TV, so
So then everyone saw it.
We didn't really, they blurred his penis.
Oh. They can do that live?
No, I'm saying anything that I've seen of it. But I just thought it was a story that I should share.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's my final thought. Don't do that.
It would definitely distract me.
Don't.
You know what I mean?
Look. All right. Please follow us on Instagram at 25whistles, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.